What's up and welcome to our podcast, Toast to Tea.
We're two friends that love the world of celebrity and pop culture and talking about it with you.
To join our world of celebrity, make sure to rate, like, and subscribe to our podcast. Now hit it.
It's about that time.
Wait, where's the Chris Cam?
To say cheers to our world of celebrity.
1000%.
They're back together, and it feels just right.
Miss Mika, nice to meet ya.
Raise your glass.
I'm Maddison Hill.
And I'm Courtney Revolution.
Because it's our moment to
Toast to tea.
Courtney, hello. I'm coming to you from my closet because the construction outside my window has been unbearable.
Madison, you are more than fine because my apartment building has been getting worked on for like the past 10 weeks and it's been a nightmare.
Gosh. What is with all this? I mean, construction in LA is all the time, but I'm just like, cheese and rice. And it's the literal jackhammering outside.
And it's always when you need to like record something.
Yes.
Like if I do a voiceover for content or something, immediately they start like buzzsawing and jackhammering
1
like, the
million
balcony
percent.
next door.
It was quiet. It was pretty quiet all morning. And then literally you were like, okay, I'm ready to hop on. And then it was like, dun, 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 dun. I was like, oh my God, do they have a connection to my apartment that they know now is the time? Like that's what it literally feels like.
They said, no more tea for y'all.
They
said, no, we got to do this.
They knew. And so we're in the closet. We're doing good. Honestly, I think the audio, because I have so much stuff in here, is actually probably going to sound better than it normally does.
I was going to say, you sound good, Maddison.
So we have a lot of clothing to have the noise cancellation. Obviously, you guys know I have a problem.
Oh, Lordy. Come on, clothing.
But that's okay.
How are you doing this week, Maddison?
I'm good. How are you?
Girl, I'm honestly really good. No, I'm having a good week. It's just been a busy week.
Yes.
So I'm just trying to make sure I get through all of my stuff so that by the time the weekend comes, if I decide to leave the house and do something Halloween-y, I don't have like work like looming over me. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. You know, my childhood friends are coming in town this weekend. My spicy girls.
Come on, spicy.
I know. And their moms are coming, which that has never happened. So it's going to be a really fun weekend, but I feel you on the busyness trying to prepare. You know, that's what people don't really, I feel like, see on social media is whenever you are a content creator, I think it is all so much fun, but whenever you have to prepare for days off, the days before that are brutal. Like I just showed Courtney my to-do list before we started recording and he's like, I can't read that, but there is too many words and too many bullet points.
Yeah, I was like, honestly, it made me feel seen because like sometimes I feel like the way I live in terms of like work-life balance is insane because my to-do list my to-do list is always like really long, but girls, yours is long too, girl.
Yeah, I feel like people would see things on social media and be like, oh my God, you are living the best life. And we are living the best life. But a lot of times in order to go do those fun things where we are living our best life, there's a lot of ish that happens before then. So I just think that's something that doesn't go, I feel like that's not very seen, you know, obviously, because no one's really posting their like grinding, except Courtney and I talk about it because we want to be honest with you guys.
Yeah.
And transparent. So, you know what? But we have fun. And now it's the podcast time, which means it's our time to relax and chill and get into fun things. Now, although this isn't fun, Courtney, it is a story that stopped me in my little true crime tracks because I feel like there's a documentary coming about this at some point in our lifetime. Did you see that Taylor Swift cruise ship situation where a passenger...
Yes.
went overboard?
It's very sad and so strange. First of all, how do people fall off of like boats like that? How does that happen?
Number one, because this is like, I don't know if you guys have seen this in the news. At the time that we're recording this, it's now going everywhere. And again, there feels like an eerie part to this story. So there was a 66-year-old woman on a Taylor Swift themed cruise ship who is now missing. She went overboard somewhere in the Bahamas. They weren't telling the people on board anything. They just realized that they stopped sailing and they saw rescue boats going around and like circling the ship and like going out and coming back in. And now obviously they're looking for her, but it's been over 24 hours. No one knows anything. No one knows how she felt. And I'm like, where's the security footage? Who is she? I just have so many questions how that happens. And why is there not like sensors on the boat? I've never been on a cruise, but this is why they scare me.
Yeah, I've never been on a cruise, but I really, really, really want to go on one. I think my number one question right now is like, where was this woman's family? Like, who was she? Like, was she someone's chaperone or guardian? Was she there just because she was a Swiftie? Who is this lady, and how did she wind up being by herself long enough to fall and go missing?
Right. And I also, not to be morbid, but I feel like if you go overboard in a cruise ship,
the sharks is going to eat you.
A bad situation. I'm like, how terrifying.
Yeah.
How horrible for her family. And I think too, of course it's getting even more press because it's a Taylor Swift themed. The amount of freaking headlines and photos I've seen, or like, no one is even using a photo of the ship. It's all Taylor's picture.
They're showing Taylor.
And I'm like, you guys, Taylor, low-key probably doesn't have anything to do with this, but I'm sure she will reach out to the person's family because that's just who Taylor is whenever anything is connected to her name. But just, I don't know. I feel like there's something suspicious. I'm with you. I just don't think somebody just accidentally falls over a cruise ship.
Yeah, I don't know. We need some sort of, like you had mentioned before, like security footage. They have like cameras on ships and stuff like that, right?
I would think so. I mean,
some CCTV.
Thank you. Oh,
in full color.
Thank you, CCTV. I need witnesses. I also want to know, why aren't there sensors on the sides of the boat that detect when something's falling? That's my other question.
Yeah.
We should be adding those too. And whoever does end up doing that, we would like 10% of whatever company sells those, because you heard it here first. And I have so many questions. It's spooky, and definitely something I hope gets resolved.
Thoughts and prayers to that woman's family.
Yeah.
Imagine like, your grandmother, aunt, mother, what have you, go on this trip like that, and then all of a sudden it's like she's missing. I would lose my mind, especially as someone whose mom goes on cruises all the time.
Oh my God, I can't. Well, now you have to tell your mom she can't go on any more cruises.
You need to stay right on home. She's trying to go on one next month. You gotta stay on home.
No. No, Mama Revolution.
Nor we
can't
need
be
you
doing
right
that.
at home.
No.
Feet on the ground, not the water.
Yes, no. See this? No. Courtney, I know you just said you want to go on a cruise, but now I'm scared.
I do, like a virgin one.
I know.
A virgin cruise.
I know. Those do look...
Where I can twerk.
Those do look really fun, but now I'm scared. Now at least you can't go by yourself. I have to come with you. So that way I can...
Maddison, you got to come on a virgin cruise.
Could you imagine us on a cruise ship? I think about, no, obviously I can't. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I think about how we were 24 hours at Disney together. Imagine that
so
5 days.
I think about that at least once a week. That was so fun.
We had so much freaking fun. Oh my God, you guys. I still cannot. It was the best. If you're part of my membership, you got to see a vlog of our time together, and it was really, really just, I think about it all the time too. I'm like, that is one of my favorite Disney memories, honestly.
Yeah, same. Same for me, Maddison, honestly.
No, tea.
What a day.
I know. Okay, let's go ahead, Courtney, and get into the tea, because we actually have a lot of good things to get into.
I got all this.
Oh, I love all the beverages.
One to caffeinate and one to hydrate.
As you should. As you should. Okay, kicking things off, can we talk about who got Rihanna's stamp of approval this week?
Oh, of course. Miss Glorilla, which I was surprised by.
You were surprised?
Yeah, I mean, I know that Glorilla is having her moment, but I just, when I saw the news of like Rihanna coming out and being like, you know what, if there's anyone that I would want to like make a theme song for like her super successful like lingerie line, it would be Glorilla. I was like, I don't know if she was at the top of my list.
I feel like Rihanna is so chronically online, and that's why she loves her so much. Like that
would make sense.
I just feel like Rihanna at home, late at night, she's like us scrolling. She's like us seeing what the trending songs, getting down to that. And so that's why I feel like she is living for her. And you know what? If she can get her back in the studio...
Stop, Glorilla, I was about to say.
If you can get Rihanna back in the studio, you will officially be the MVP of, dare I say, the entire world. Like, everyone will be Glorilla stands for life if you get Rihanna back in the studio.
I was like, is Glorilla the one to get Rihanna to sing into a microphone again. That's such a, like, that's just like something I just would never expect. Like, out of all of the, because there's so many women in rap that I feel like Glorilla's kind of like the underdog.
Mm-hmm.
In
I
the
would
group.
agree.
So, like, to see her be loved by so many big artists it's a good spot to be in. But is she signed to Rock Nation? I gotta look into that. If she's signed to Rock Nation,
I don't know.
because then all this makes sense strategically. This is all like coming to me in real time.
Right,
now,
there could be like a PR aspect to it all. I will say, to your point of it's nice to see her get recognition, because I feel like a lot of times when we talk about like the new generation of female rappers, it's always Megan Thee Stallion. Like, she is always the one, which, you know, obviously we have had our qualms with Megan as of late.
Of course.
But I think for me, it's just refreshing to see someone else get praise. And also, Rihanna is just like the ultimate girl's girl too. I feel like Rihanna never, ever, ever shies away from making someone feel seen and making it known that she uplifts other women. Like, she's like, Nicki, we're not competing. Why can't we all?
Yeah.
Let's all be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm here for
I like that. I like that, especially because Glorilla does, from what I see, she does receive a lot of hate online. So I'm sure, like, waking up to like Rihanna being like, you know what? I like me some Glorilla. Like, that probably made her whole, you know, rest of the year.
Mm-hmm. Why does she get so much hate?
I don't know. I think people make a lot of fun of her looks.
Oh,
that's kind of like where it started.
I don't like that.
Like even recently, there was like the day her album came out, maybe if I'm not mistaken, a makeup artist had put out this video of a makeup transformation of Glorilla, and people were making fun of her. And I guess Glorilla herself felt a way about the video because she had already told the makeup artist to not put the video out, and the makeup artist did anyway. So, like, you know, people are just awful. So at least, like you said, Rihanna's a girl's girl, and she like propped her up a little bit.
Thank goodness.
Come on, Robin.
Also, it is 2024. Why are we hating on somebody's looks?
Yeah, you can't help with like what people were born with.
And also, I'm like, Glorilla is out here doing the damn thing. So who the heck are you to be sitting behind a keyboard and commenting on what she looks like?
Just
I don't like
broken
that.
Stank.
I don't like that. You know, I hate that kind of trolling. I don't know. I just feel like it's tired, and honestly, get a new bit. Like, it's ridiculous.
You heard Maddison Hill, y'all. Get a new bit.
Get a new bit.
Leave her face and body alone.
And Rihanna's a fan, and that tells me all I need to know. So I'm here for it. Courtney, now something I am not going to lie, I was not here for any of this. Let's talk about Miss Ariana Grande, always finding myself in just not the best situations lately. That's what I feel like. She needs to change positions, literally, because girl is always finding herself in a tricky one. And I keep wanting to ride for her, and she just gives me no reason to ride for her. And it's starting to get frustrating.
What you mean?
So, you guys, Cassandra Peterson, aka Miss Elvira, aka the Halloween icon, legend, all of the things, okay?
One of ones.
Her and Ariana Grande had a situation this week. Basically, Elvira posted about an encounter that she had with Ariana Grande, saying that Ariana had bought her friends and family backstage meet and greet passes to meet Elvira. She hung out with them, signed autographs, took photos, did all of the things with, again, this large group that Ariana brought back there, and then told Ariana at the end, hey, let's get a picture. And Ariana allegedly told her that she doesn't really do that. Okay? That was what Elvira put out there. Obviously, everyone started dragging Ariana because, like, who do you think you are? Question mark.
Mm-hmm.
And so Ariana decided to go ahead and respond and give her perspective of the situation. She said that she was disheartened to hear that that's how she felt about it. She said that at the time, this was 7, and she goes, parentheses, this was 7 years ago, if I remember, that she was really suffering a lot from anxiety and it was hard for her to be in crowds, hard for her to be in public places. She thanked her for being lovely to her mom. And then she made a comment about how she's not sure how her mom's going to feel about her now, but she'll talk to her. Okay. Then she ended it saying, sending love always. You'll always be our queen of Halloween. Courtney, I did not, as you could probably tell by my tone of giving the rundown of the situation, I heavily disagreed with Ariana's response. But
why, Maddison?
Because I first of all, don't like how she made it seem like this was so long ago. Why do you even care? I can't believe you're bringing this up now. And I get anxiety. I get stress. I get all of that. But sometimes I feel like people weaponize it to make an excuse and then say, well, I had anxiety and panic attacks. How dare you make a comment on my rude behavior? I don't love that. And then also the little bit about the mom, which I get because Mama Hill has mom claws the size of Kentucky. She will come for you the moment you come for me. However, I think just like adding that bit did nothing for the story, did nothing for the apology. It was very much, I'm sorry, not sorry. And I wish you would have just not said anything at all.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I do agree that that's the energy it gave for sure.
I don't know. What do you think? Am I being too harsh?
I don't think that you're being too harsh. I don't know. I can kind of see both sides of it. Like, I understand Ariana being like, girl, they literally just bombed my concert. Like, the last thing I was thinking about after my people dragging me to your show is trying to take a picture with your behind. I imagine, speculation, not confirmation, maybe she thought and felt that way. But I also understand Elvira being asked the question and her being like, this is what happened. Mm-hmm. I'm not surprised at Ariana's response. And this is why Ariana doesn't have Twitter anymore. Because she got a slick ass mouth. And she knows that it's hard for her to not be a smart ass. So this is very much in character for Ariana. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean we have to like it or agree, but I'm not surprised that this was I thought it was a very sweet response compared to how I've seen Ariana respond to people, fans, people she know regardless. But also, I think maybe I'm also leaning more towards, girl, you bringing this up now? A little bit, I feel like, girl, you bringing this up now? And this was right at the way the media was on that girl ass during the Manchester bombings. Like, I wonder why she was at the Elvira show to begin with, and I wonder the context.
I was gonna say,
but I also feel like maybe I'm making an excuse.
I think I need to know the context because when I hear it was a private meet and greet for Ariana's family and friends, I'm like, to me, that seems like a safe situation.
Like, he was good enough to go to the show.
That seems to me you are having this private moment. It's not as though you were in a room with a bunch of Elvira fans and your family and you're overwhelmed. I would feel, obviously I would understand. I'm not a horrible person. And I get where her mental state was at the time, for sure. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think, and I'm with you on why is Elvira bringing this up now? I do think she was asked the question, but still, it does feel as though, girl, it was. I'm like, girl,
it could. There's no way, as popular and iconic and legendary as Elvira is, that she's never been asked that question before. Yeah, because then this would have been, as long ago as it was, we would have been known about this. It is really weirdly timed. That, like, right before Wicked, I was going to say, here's Elvira talking about Ariana was mean to me 50,000 years ago.
I was going to say, which is probably why she responded, because she's like, oh, God. Because people were dragging Ariana. But this also goes to show, Courtney, you really...
Like, right after Cynthia?
You really have to always make sure... I know celebrities are people, and you don't always have a good day. I get that 1,000,000%. However, when you have that power, the platform... and you are that person, I'm sorry. Sometimes you got to put on your big girl panties. And when you're in front of another person in your industry with your family and friends, sometimes you don't want to take the picture and you just gotta buck up, sis. I know.
You're right.
I know it's tough, but I think of like you or I having the power, the money, the status that Ariana Grande has. And you and I if we were just down bad that day and still in that situation with our family and friends and Elvira said, can we get a picture? You and I both would have said, absolutely. And we would have done it.
Just to keep it real, there have been days where I go to, girl, I just be getting them all by myself, having a moment with my sunglasses on and be like about to burst into tears, and all of a sudden somebody that watches The Circle like runs up and it's like, and I'm like, Barney.
Mm-hmm.
I immediately turn on, girl, and now let's take a picture, and like their whole entire day is made.
Yep.
It doesn't matter that my shit is falling apart. I decided to take my black ass on TV, and they only know me as Smiley Courtney with the zebra hat, so that's who I have to be in that moment. And maybe Elvira was expecting a little bit more professionalism.
Mm-hmm.
From Ariana at the basic level, the professionalism.
And
she wasn't asking to go to brunch or nothing like that.
No,
yeah, fair.
She wasn't saying, let's work on something together. She wasn't saying, can you come out on stage with me during my show? Mm-hmm. She was simply saying, I just did something for your family and friends. Let's get a picture together. And I think also her response of, I don't really do that. I think or just said, honestly, I've really been going through it. I love you, but I can't. I'm with you. I mean, there, have been times people, oh my God, I watch you 1,000,000%. Oh my God.
Like, I wonder, we got pictures from her at the Elvira show that night. Did Ariana have her face on? Did she have the little head thrown to the side?
Maybe she didn't have her face on. She didn't want that.
There's a couple things that could have went into, and do we know Ariana really said, I don't do that? I
don't know. I think
it's been a long time. Elvira could have just been being cute for the moment, and it blew up.
That's true. And you know what? Honestly, I think I've become a little bit of, full disclosure community, I'm just going to be honest, a little bit of an Ariana hater lately because of the Ethan Slater situation. And then for her to still sit up there and play in our faces that like, people are crazy that they think the timeline mixed. There was no, and I'm like, girl, the math is mathing. I would literally have the most respect for this girl if she was like, you know what? We might have not been perfect, but I genuinely think this is my person, and all of the drama we had to go to get here is worth it. I'd be like, you know what? Amen. I'm a hopeless romantic. Sometimes you find yourself in tricky situations and you find your soulmate, and you got to do what you got to do. 1,000,000%. But the fact that she still is sitting up here being like, well, the internet's crazy. I'm like, Miss Ma'am,
I want to offer you this, Maddison.
Okay, tell me.
Yes, to what you're saying. Yes, 100 million quadrillion %. Who's going to see Wicked after that? After home wrecking ass Ariana did this out in the public eye.
Me. I'd be like, you know what?
They done J-Lo'd her ass.
Girl had to do what
she ain't gonna sell no tickets. Like, obviously, we gonna buy the music. We don't care. We're adults. We don't care.
Yeah.
But I imagine her team sat her down and said, girl, they gonna trash this movie and wipe it away if you don't do exactly what we tell you to do, which is, shh. Now you're going to put this album out, say what you got to say, and we're going to move on. Now we got Cynthia. Stop making edits.
Oh my God.
The next week, Ariana was mean to me. The Wicked hate train has left the station.
And you know what? Ariana was asked about the Cynthia making that comment this week too, and she said something like, AI is crazy, but like the fans are going to do what they want to do. But I love my sister Cynthia and I respect her so much. I'm like, even Ariana's like, Cynthia, girl, I live, laugh, love you, but you've got to calm down. Like we can't be mad about the edits. You know what I mean? Like, let people put over your face, is her kitty cat green? Like, at least they're talking about us. Like,
or just stay off the internet at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Until the film comes out.
Which, okay, speaking of the film, I feel like also, can we talk about, because I saw this pop up and I thought this was the funniest thing. So, I can't even say it with a straight face. So, Ariana and Cynthia went over to the Kardashians' house and did a screening of Wicked with the Kardashians. And like, it was like a Wicked pajama party, and Ariana's in her pink and Glenda PJs, and everyone else is wearing green PJs. And Courtney, I would literally give my pinky toe, dare I say actually both pinky toes, so I would be off balance for the rest of my life, to just hear Ariana and Cynthia's response when their teams called and said, hey, you're going to have to go do a pajama party with the Kardashians to promote Wicked. And they're like, okay.
Maddison.
The Ariana Grande. Like, I will say that I might have had to put my foot down and said,
I know that this is the opportunity of a lifetime for this young lady. But when I tell you, speculation, not confirmation, Ariana is so ready for this to be over.
Oh,
she wants both parts out. I know she do, so she could go
1,000,000%.
back to being a real human again. Because this is too much. I know the last thing she wanted to do was go over there and smile up in Kim's face. Girl, I don't know y'all, but I know that that's the tea.
You know, Cynthia's like, I am an actor. Like, what the hell am I doing at the Kardashians' house? Playing my movie with the little kids running around screaming, because you know those kids aren't well behaved to sit through a 2.5-hour movie. You know they're not.
North was sitting, girl.
Oh, North.
She was focused.
North. I love North. I love her honest self. Also, North's like 12, so she can sit through a movie.
Yeah,
I'm talking about, you think
the younger ones.
Little Saint?
Yeah.
And Chicago is literally the cutest kid I've ever seen. So I know that she's perfectly well behaved. But you think those little boys are able to sit through a long movie like that? I can barely sit through a movie like that.
Girl.
Actually, I can because I love Wicked and I will be seated because I love a musical. But I'm just saying, for context, I was just like, you know, that they both were like, I can't believe we're being forced to do this.
But you know what? Whatever is going to keep people buying tickets at this point.
Will that get people to buy more tickets? Do you think?
I think that the thought behind it was like, well, they're followed by so many people. So if Kim, you post a picture, Chloe, you post some, like if one or two or three of them post something, then that like generates enough buzz around the film for audiences that might be out of the loop. Maybe, because obviously the theater girls, the gays and the girls, we gonna go. But like, what about the people that aren't necessarily tapped into musicals or people that have only seen Wizard of Oz? Like my dad has probably seen the ads. His favorite movie is Wizard of Oz, but he doesn't know anything about Wicked. So like, if he were a Kardashian fan, that would be a way to like
that. You know what?
him.
That Kim post got your dad. It did. I know.
He's like, you know what? I gotta go right to the theater.
Kim said I had a pajama party. No, that is true. I think I just saw the photo and I was like, you can just tell Ariana and Cynthia are dead behind the eyes. Which, like, fair. I would be too. You know, I
wish that they would have just surprised a regular person.
I think
a regular
too.
Wicked,
Something
like
about,
super fan.
I don't know what it is. It just, the whole thing feels so cheesy. And I think that's where I'm struggling. I'm like,
why not Ciara and Russell Wilson's family?
I'm like, the cheese is at a 15 out of 10. Like, it's just,
Cheese whiz out of the can.
Cheese
literally.
whiz, extra processed. Like, I don't know. I was dying, Courtney. I was like, that is some funny stuff. I cannot.
They tried. The marketing team is trying. I will give them that. They have to do a lot, especially with a new drama unfolding every couple of days. With the stars. So
they were like, we need some positive press. Go watch this movie with the Kardashians. And then little did they know, I mean, I haven't looked at online reactions to that, but I imagine we can't be the only ones who think that is just absolutely hilarious.
I'm sure Twitter is dragging them.
Yeah, I mean,
Twitter's dragging
there's
them.
literally no way we're the only people who are like, girl.
Let's
all have a little LOL because that is what this is. Like,
you know what? At least they got a little treat before the holidays.
Look at that.
They weren't going to be able to go and see it in the movie theater anyway.
Look at that. I like that. Yeah. You know, and I bet the Kardashians had some good snacks.
They probably had it catered from the Alamo Draft House.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You've been to the Alamo Draft House, Maddison?
No. Where's that?
Madison, girl, you need to go to the Alamo Draft House where you go and sit in the good comfy seat, girl, and they got the good food menu, girl, and they bring out the big trays of food, girl, during the film, girl.
Is that in the Valley?
And you have you a good cocktail?
I don't think I've been there.
Girl, I'm going to take you to the Alamo Draft House.
Okay, let's go see, can we go see Wicked there?
Maybe, I'll look into it.
Okay,
I'll look into
actually, we should do that because I do love Wicked. Like, all jokes aside.
That's not a bad idea.
All Ari jokes aside, I love Wicked. So that was one of my first shows that I was able to see, and it was iconic. So
because I knew you, I have been changed for good. I had to sing.
So
the 1 year in chorus we sang Wicked. I've never seen it, but I know a lot of the
Courtney,
music. One Short Day is my hit.
So good. And also For Good, we sang that during recruitment, sorority recruitment, normally on the last day where you like only go to your whatever house you're going to possibly be, and you go to 3. That's how the University of Missouri does it. I don't know about Alabama or any of those other schools. But at Mizzou, you go to 3 on the final day, and it's like the day where we want to reel you in. We want you to go through there and be like, I want to be a Delta Gamma. And people are crying because it's an emotional day. You're also exhausted and whatever. But we, as part of our ceremony, would sing For Good. And I don't know if it was just pure exhaustion, but also if you really listen to the words, like, because I knew you, I've been changed for good. And just imagine all of these basic sorority girlies, like, we're all sitting there, like, someone singing that song, just absolutely sobbing our little guts out because we're like, because of the sisterhood, we've all been I'm telling you. So now, I know I'm saying it facetiously now, but every time I hear that song, I think of that time in my life, and it absolutely makes me sob my guts out because it is such a good song.
Do you see your sorority sisters ever?
I do. My friend Katie I met her in Delta Gamma. Another one, actually, I do see like a chunk of them still consistently. So
okay, good, because that's supposed to be a thing.
Yeah, no, I actually do. And I will say something that because I know sororities get a really bad rap on social media, and there are parts of it that should get a bad rap. However, my experience was overwhelmingly positive. I came out with some really great people. And also too, for example, I think what I've seen is in times where people have really bad stuff happen, it's crazy how still our community, like our sorority, rallies around that person. And I think that's something that I really have grown to appreciate. And just seeing that is so powerful. Like seeing all of these girls who, yes, maybe I don't keep in touch with them all the time, but like when something goes bad and like someone's down and we need to rally around that person, it does not matter. Everyone is like, okay, we're praying for you. We're helping you. What do we need to do? Everyone, Delta Gamma's mobilized. Like, let's go. And that part of it, I think, is good and often not highlighted because I think everyone likes to focus on like the bad stuff, which there is a lot of bad, but there is also some good too.
You sound like me selling the Disney college program. Like, yes, honestly, there are some bad moments, like the $100 a week and the party bus situations. But however,
Courtney, it's literally the exact same situation.
like I know if I need any of my roommates, I just need to blow on some fairy dust and they'll be there.
No, we would always say it's not 4 years, it's for life. Which, like,
that's so cute.
No, it like I said, I know I'm saying it facetiously, but I do really. That was fun. That was some fun times in my life. But I just think it's the same thing. It's honestly like the college program because my sister would say the same thing as you. Like, you're going to be overworked. You're never going to see your family. You're never going to see your friends. That's why you have to make friends with the same people who work with you because otherwise you have no social life. But
Maddison, I literally would like never, there would be periods of time where I would never see my roommates ever because everyone just worked like really weird like schedules. So I would like come home.
You'll work till like 1 a.m. Yeah.
Yep. For my $100 a week.
And loved every second of it.
Loved every second of it. I said, I'm free to the club. $75 of it to the club.
Courtney and I were talking about that. Recently we were talking about just starting out and being in college and how we would save for like 3 weeks to go out for one night and how just iconic that one night would be. And truthfully, good times. And you were going out in Orlando. Like Columbia had
Maddison.
dollar bottles, dollar triple wells. So we were balling on a budget. Thankfully.
Ours was the at Pulse, RIP, at Pulse, the $20 all you could
that's
drink.
what it was.
That was
insane is that?
When I was just at the last time I did Hearts of Reality, Donovan wasn't there, but me and Felicia went to Southern Nights. Shout out to Southern Nights. And we walked in and for the first time in like 10 years, I saw a sign that said, $20 all you could drink. That one night that we went to the club. and everyone was falling down.
And
I was like, I am home.
It's all night, right? Like they don't cut you off.
All night, Maddison.
See, that's crazy.
As long as you got that bracelet on.
You guys, wow.
Just free tequila drinks. All free well drinks, just.
What a time to be alive. See, nowhere in Colombia did that. They would have one bar had a penny pitcher deal. Ooh. Where for a penny, you would get a pitcher of beer. And if you upgraded for $1, you got pitcher Long Island iced teas. Which you can imagine. Oh, girl, I need
the Long Island iced tea.
Which you obviously upgraded for the $1 because.
The last time I had a Long Island iced tea, I threw up on my roommate and it was during the Disney College program.
Courtney, Long Island iced teas.
Ramon.
They are so good, but they are lethal.
I didn't know.
For those of you who don't know, a Long Island iced tea tastes so good, but it literally has so many types of alcohol in it that you're just asking to have a situation.
Maddison, I didn't know. I had 2. I'll never forget it. I had 2 and we got back on the party bus and like the party bus pulled off and I did not mentally because I was drunk. And as soon as we got back to like the complex, just like a fountain. Just like I was that person on the like bus full of like the Disney just
I mean, that's a Long Island iced tea for you. So if you've never had one, you've been warned. If you have had one, I absolutely guarantee you have a story similar to Courtney's.
And I'm sorry.
That happens. You know what? We're only young once. Okay?
And I appreciate those times.
So me too. And think of how much I don't know if we've matured too much, but we have matured some.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. I was going to say because I had fun when we were at Disney. I did let my hair down that night.
That was fun. That was nice adult fun. We weren't like falling down in bushes and stuff.
God, no. No. But we did have fun. And that was a little late night snack. I feel like whenever I have a late night snack, that's how you know I had a good time. Because I love a late night snack. Mm-hmm. Okay, last thing, Courtney, that I want to talk about is this very interesting Justin Bieber report. Okay? Because I want to hear your thoughts. Now, remember, we've talked about little grumblings here and there about Justin allegedly being financially strapped. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And remember, we've said, we know he's not going broke. We know that those headlines are an exaggeration. But for about the past probably 4 or 5 months, we've heard these little grumblings, okay? But then TMZ put out this report this week about sources who have said Justin is upset with his old business managers. He believes that they mismanaged his money and a large sum of that money. They didn't disclose how much money, but a lot of money. And it's enough money that allegedly Justin Bieber is considering suing these ex-business managers. And his current team is divided on him suing them. Allegedly, half of the team is like, yeah, sue. And then allegedly the other half is like, ooh, there was a time in your life when you were wildly spending money. How much of that craziness was the business managers and how much was it you? Now, I thought it was interesting because the TMZ report specifically says, Justin's not hurting for cash. Justin's not financially strapped. You know, he sold his masters last year for $200 million. And before that, his net worth was $100 million. But I couldn't help but be a little suspicious about this whole situation, just based on some of the reports we've gotten before this.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, do you got the money for them lawyer fees?
That's kind of what, and I'm sure that's partially what his team is thinking too. Like, do you know how long this could drag out? Like, do we really want to be spending our money on that?
And it's like, can Justin easily prove that they were mismanaging his, like, how do you prove, like,
right.
Are you an accountant? Like, do you hire someone to go back to your financial records? And
I do think there's, correct me if I'm wrong, community, but I believe there is positions called like a forensic accountant that could go back and probably trace that. But I imagine why some of his team is like, girl, no, because think about.
Just go on tour.
But also, I'm like, think about, there was a time when Justin was a little flashy, a little irresponsible. And so I'm sure, you know, maybe someone could go back and prove that some things were mismanaged. But as far as who mismanaged what and who okayed what, maybe there's not clear proof of that, which is why people are like, some people in his life are thinking, is this really worth going to bat for this? You know?
I don't know, Maddison. I don't know if this is going to be a battle that Justin really wants to put his energy towards. You just had a baby.
That's how I feel.
And now
too.
you want to enter into a court battle?
I feel like if it's not a slam dunk,
if Justin can easily prove that, then you need to go ahead and get your money,
right?
And sue the pants off of those people,
right?
But if this is just like something you're like maybe, or it's going to take more than a year to figure out, girl, go on ahead and just give us a new album, girl. Give us a little Christmas something, girl, and let's move on.
Yeah, no, for sure.
The legal fees.
I kind of think. I mean, we've been saying it. I think Las Vegas residency. I've been saying it. I know that sounds like a lot for the Biebs. However, he wouldn't have to travel, which I know he doesn't because he doesn't do good on tour with the traveling. His whole they could be there. Do what 50 Cent's doing. A little 9-show gig. Look, 50 Cent's getting $15 million. Put some millions. And Justin got $10 million from just doing that one billionaire's party. So you could probably do a few more shows, get a couple more $1 million, and you're Gucci. Forget about what funds were mismanaged. You just You just got it back by barely lifting a pinky, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a tough situation, but I do think there are some shenanigans with Justin's money. And no one can tell me different because
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm big on consistency. And whenever I'm consistently hearing the same thing in different words and kind of skirting around the issue, that's when my little alarm bells go off. And my alarm bell, again, I don't think he's going broke. I don't think he's, struggling. I just am like, I don't know what's not right, but something's not right.
And maybe Justin feels like, well, at the end of the day, it's still my money. So I want it back. Like, he's the one that's kind of like put his blood, sweat, and tears into it. Like whether he has like, done some unsavory things here and there. He still deserves access to the money that he rightfully earned. So if he has the financial stamina to sustain a legal battle, well, Justin, you go on ahead and you Bieber until you get your money back. How about that?
Okay, last thing, because this just popped into my little squibbity brain. You don't think that those business managers had ties to somebody who is currently sitting behind bars, right?
I would not be surprised.
Because they helped Justin. He was integral in that time of his life and his career.
I wouldn't be surprised, Maddison.
I wouldn't either.
That's a scary thought.
What if some money was going to cover up some things that Justin didn't know at the time was being covered up? And sorry, now I'm conspiracy theorying, but at this point, it's like
no, the Diddy thing has
it's turned me into such a conspiracy. Like I already was kind of like, oh, I'll hear you out. I'll watch a YouTube video about the Denver airport, but now I'm like, everything's connected. The Abercrombie and Fitch CEO also was arrested for sex trafficking. Like,
really?
Oh my God!
Oh yeah. I did see that.
The old CEO. Which, by the way, I don't know if you've seen a picture of him as of late, but
no.
Oh my God! Let me show you this, and then we'll put it in the teapot. But you guys just have to see this photo of this man, of what he looks like now, because I was so spooked. I need to post a video, but look at this man now, Courtney.
He looked like a ghoul.
He is spooky. I don't know what in the plastic surgery he had done, but
he looks ghoulish.
He's like,
happy Halloween.
Yeah. Truthfully, he looks like he is in A Nightmare Before Christmas. No.
He's a spooky ooky girl.
He is, but we'll keep our little eye on Justin, obviously, as we always do, but just some weird stuff. Some weird stuff going on for spooky season, Courtney. But okay,
and Diddy is the Grim Reaper.
Did I tell you? Yeah. I saw a funny TikTok that plays into this, but it was this guy being like, at this point, Diddy's responsible for the hurricanes. Diddy's responsible for everything bad going on in our lives. And I was like,
yup.
Honestly, I agree. I concur.
He did it. All of it. Hurricane, yup.
All of it. All of it. But okay, Courtney, let's go ahead and
Put it in the teapot.
Also, you guys, remember, if you want to send in your put it in the teapot submissions, email us at toastedteapod@gmail.com or comment down below on YouTube or Spotify, because you can comment on both, or DM us on Instagram or TikTok.
Alrighty, for this week's Put It in the Teapot, I would like to encourage people to let go. I think that letting go is super important, and although it can be scary, it can bring on feelings of anxiety. I want you to look at those feelings of anxiety and turn them into feelings of excitement, because when you let things go, you just create room for things to come in. I found in my experience that I hate letting go of things because I like things to stay the same. Kind of falls under the same thing as change. But I've always found that for everything that I've let go, it has been replaced by something even grander, something even more necessary in my life that I might not have realized that I needed at the time. So I advise you to take inventory of the people, places, and things in your life and sort of check and see if they're still valid to still be there. And if they're not, you let them go and you make room for what's meant to be there for that time.
Courtney, I feel like I just literally had a therapy session. That was amazing.
You're silly,
I
Maddison.
completely agree with you, though, because I think also it's a little bit in our Taurus nature to have a hard time letting go of certain things.
Mhm.
But it really is so freeing when you do. I'm with you, because sometimes I think I have a little bit of a hard time doing that too. And then whenever I do, I'm like, oh my God, I feel so much better. Why didn't I do this 3 months ago? But it's hard. And I think sometimes you have to do it in your own time for it to really have the lasting effects and for you to learn the lesson.
You gotta be ready.
Mm-hmm. Okay, the thing that I'm putting in the teapot is it's okay to just not be able to get everything done. I don't think. I know I have a yes problem, and Courtney knows I have a yes problem too. I say yes to a lot of things, sometimes too many things, and it gets me in a pickle, and I end up with a to-do list a mile long, and I'm panicking. And I think sometimes I need to just take a step back and remember that the world is going to keep turning if I don't complete everything. It is going to be okay. It's okay to tell people no sometimes as well. But I think for me, the real big thing is the world is going to keep turning. If you don't get to everything, it's going to be okay. You're going to make it through. And again, say no to things sometimes, because I really, really struggle with that because I'm a people pleaser. And I think sometimes we need to remember that in order to really be our best selves, we need to, or I feel like it's a balance of people pleasing others, but also people pleasing yourself, because without making sure you're Gucci, how the hell are you going to help anyone else? So just remember, it's okay to not get everything done, and we're going to be all right. Say no sometimes.
Period. Say no sometimes. I know that's right, Maddison the Hill.
Now I got to go take my own advice.
I agree. Sometimes like your plate just gets like too full. Mm-hmm. So it's always important to like take inventory of like what you can manage, and whatever you can't, tomorrow is simply another day.
Yes. And I also think sometimes too, whenever I get really overwhelmed, I will say like God, the universe, they always come through and like, we'll make sure something works out that it's okay too. So I also think having faith as well while you're going through whatever and going through your day is also key. Whatever you believe in, whatever higher power, I've also been finding that helps me get through the day too. So just putting that out there. You know,
you gotta speak on it, girl.
I know. I always think it's important because I think sometimes we get so lost in the shuffle. I'm like, sometimes you just got to have a moment. And like I said, talk to God, talk to the universe, and just be like, whatever I get done, just help me do it. And normally something happens and it gets okay. It's going to be all right.
Whatever it takes, I know I can make it through, girl. The Degrassi theme song said it best.
Exactly. You guys, this was such a fun episode. I feel like, Courtney, I love the episodes where we're able to get personal and kind of veer off the docket. Those are always my favorite. You guys, make sure if you're watching on YouTube, you give this video a thumbs up. You hit that subscribe button, you hit that notification bell. Make sure you share this podcast as well. If you are listening on Spotify, make sure you are subscribing, replying to the Spotify poll, and just, subscribing, following us wherever you get your podcasts and on social media at Toasted Tea Pod. Also, you guys can follow me at I am Maddison Hill with 2 Ds on Instagram and TikTok, and Maddison Hill 93 on Snapchat.
And you can follow me on Instagram at Courtney Revolution and at Court Revolution on TikTok and where else? Twitter. And you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, Courtney Revolution.
Yes. I'm so happy you're on YouTube regularly now and live for it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Shorts every day.
Yes, you guys. We love you so much, community. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.